I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music, the best kept secret in music reviews. We're going to review Perfume Genius, Put Your Back Into It today. This is a sophomore record from Mike, how do you say his name? Hadreas?
I have no idea.
Hadreas?
We suck at pronouncing
We
things.
do. We're from Iowa. Iowans, just so you guys know, we suck at pronouncing just about everything. I don't even know if you pronounce Iowa, Iowa, we don't know.
We're from here.
We live here.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere. We're out in a cornfield right now filming, and we're not exaggerating. Anyways, Put Your Back Into It. It's the sophomore album. This Mike Hadreas, he writes on his keyboard, very sentimental, very slow, brooding, moody tracks. And his first album, Learning, came out in 2010. I actually hadn't listened to Perfume Genius before preparing for this review, and I went back and listened to Learning a couple times, and then I've listened to Put Your Back Into It. My first impression was I read the name Put Your Back Into It with N being just the capital letter, then two.
Is this a Prince album?
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, like something electro-pop. I was like really just not looking forward to it for that. And then I put it on and I'm like, this is the polar opposite from that happy, electro-pop genre. This is the exact opposite. This is music that you make when you want to cry about something. And I really didn't like this album at first.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't. I struggled with it. And the reason is because I was listening to it at work. I'm drinking coffee, typing on my laptop, everyone's on the phone around me and stuff, and that is absolutely the wrong. That's where you want to listen to electropop. This is an album that it's a very intimate sound.
Very much. Yeah, very personal.
Right. He's playing, keyboards and singing and vocal, making his vocal harmonies. The songs are focused around adding a mood and adding, just a general sound to it.
Yeah, I like that he focuses a lot on adding atmosphere, because this is largely piano and vocal driven.
Right.
But if it was just cut and dry piano and vocals through the whole thing, it would have been pretty boring. Even if the emotional aspect was there, it would have just sounded too much alike throughout. So he really knew when to add just some kind of ambient sounds, when to add some other instrumentals. So for that reason, I really commend him, for being able to have the tact to do that. Now, one thing I want to mention is the length of this album, because it's very short. It's 12 tracks. I don't even know if they average at 3 minutes.
No, I don't think so.
I think it might be between like 30 and 34 minutes, somewhere in that range, which generally we would say is too short, but I think it works here.
I do too.
And here's why. Because you think about making this album longer, he would have had to do one of two things. He would have had to add more tracks that sound like this, and for such a focused sound and such a focused album, to just do more would have just been too much.
Right.
Too much more of the same thing. I think that the length allows him to have what variety he has, but if he had done more variety, it would have killed the focus.
Right, absolutely.
So I think that balance is crucial, and I think he nailed it.
Yep.
So from there, it's really just about how much you feel it, because this is very emotionally driven album. And I mean, this is one of those cases where, we'll end up giving this a score at some point, but it's really more than ever, more about what we say than the score we give it.
Absolutely.
Because it's really just going to be about whether you can connect with this album, given the melodies and the instrumentation and the songwriting and the mood.
And the general inaccessibility of the music. Just because you don't put this on at a party, you'll depress your guests.
You have to be in just the right mood for it. And if you're not, then you'll end up liking it probably less than it deserves.
Right, which is what happened to me when I started listening to it. It wasn't until I was by myself, like in the morning, just, at my house listening to this, that I really understood it, And I think that's because, everything about this album sounds like it was written, recorded, and produced in a basement.
Yeah.
And it has that basement feel to it. Nothing here is complicated. Everything is focused and simplified. And while, in comparison to Learning, there's a greater instrumental variety. There's even drums on one of these tracks.
Which brings a good variety. It's a good break.
Right.
I wouldn't have wanted too much more of that, but it's a good break.
Exactly. But the whole function is just to provide that dark, depressing mood that fits track titles like AWOL Marine or Take Me Home or Dark Parts.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really found is while you have this really kind of almost negative, morose mood, you also feel a sense of warmth
and optimism at times. Yes, and I love that kind of it cuts through the darkness of the album at times. It's really great.
And I feel like that's something really special. Now, I wasn't blown away by this album, but the more I listen to it, the more I like it. So I wouldn't be, and that's why you need to rely more on our words and our score for this one, because I think over time this could actually get a better score from us if we were to keep listening to it.
Yeah.
But only time will tell. It's so inaccessible. I don't know if I'll be able to actually come back to this all that often, just because my life it's not convenient. It doesn't conveniently fit my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so that
might be a good thing.
Yeah, right, right. So it's not necessarily something down to say about the album, but that's just the way it is. I'm sitting right now, mid-70s, 76.
I'm going 78.
What did you guys think? This guy, Michael Hadreas, if that's how you say his name, has gotten some good buzz. People are paying attention to what he's doing and recognizing how special it is. So we're really interested to see what you guys think about Put Your Back Into It, and if you have any inclination why he would title the album like that, I would really like to know. Let us know at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. As always, guys, please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. That's where we talk with you, and you guys are what makes VIMTV what it is. Thank you for watching. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.
This ripe swollen